Good evening, welcome to World News. I am Wisdom Onisi. First, the headlines. Tinubu calls for collaborative efforts to tackle insecurity. Thousands demonstrate in Washington against Netanyahu visit. U.S. imposes sanction on China-based network for helping North Korea. And on sport, UEFA sanctions 7 nations for racist chants. Now the news in details. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has ordered the elimination of interagency rivalry among law enforcement agencies, stating that the insecurity in the country requires concerted efforts to curtail it. The president, who was represented by the Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bozum Tijani, spoke during the inauguration of the Nigerian Police Force National Cybercrime Center in Abuja on Wednesday. He said the security situation in the country is a complex blend of threats posed by well-organized non-state actors. Addressing it requires a concerted approach by all stakeholders within the security architecture. Therefore, call for elimination of interagency rivalries and urge law enforcement agencies to embrace a coordinated, collaborative approach. Away from that, governors from the 36 states of the Federation are currently meeting in the Federal Capital Territory FCT Abuja. The governors, under the aids of the Nigerian Governors Forum, are meeting at the NGF Secretariat in the nation's capital. Governor Lawal Dauda of Zamfara, Bala Mohammed of Bauchi, Caleb Mutwang of Plateau, Sharif Oboruweri of Delta, and Alex Oti of Abia State are already on ground. This is as the governors of Enugu, Pitamba, and Borno State, Babangana Zulum, sent their deputies to represent them. The agenda of the meeting is currently not made public. Away from that, we also have that the Edo State government has rejected the call by the state's leadership of All Progressive Congress APC that the federal government should put Governor Godwin Obaseki on a security watch list ahead of the proposed August 1st, 2024 nationwide protest by some youth over the economic hardship in the country. The state chairman of the APC, Jared Tenebe, said the call to put the governor on a security watch list became necessary following his alleged threat to burn down the country if the federal government failed to arrest APC members who allegedly carried out an attack at the Benin airport. He said the call was to alert the security agencies that facts have emerged of an engagement between Obaseki and an alleged sanction of the civil society group drawn from Edo State and cultists from neighboring states with the sole aim to recruit them for any protest that may be in the offing. Troops of the Nigerian Army deployed for counter-terrorism operation in Kaduna State have successfully neutralized 2 terrorists. The troops also recovered arms following a swift and decisive ambush operation conducted in the early hours of Wednesday, July 24, 2024. This was contained in a statement on the Department of Army Public Relations platform on Wednesday. According to the statement, the troops, responding to actionable intelligence, executed a well-coordinated ambush along the Tasha Buhari Road, a vital link between Gwarara town in Kachia and Kangago local government areas of Kaduna State. Troops engaged the terrorists in a fierce gun battle, resulting in the neutralization of 2, while others struggled away with gunshot wounds. The statement further disclosed the operation led to the recovery of arms and valuable intelligence, including an AK-47 rifle with a magazine containing 27 rounds of 7.62 mm ammunition, 2 machetes, 2 mobile phones, and the sum of 80,000 naira only, along with other supplies. The successful operation not only averted a potential terrorist attack, but also delivered a significant blow to the terrorist network operating in the state. Now, when we return, news from other parts of Africa. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Now news from other parts of Africa. Twice yearly shots used to treat AIDS were 100% effective in preventing new infections in women. The drug company said it is waiting for results of testing in men before seeking permission to use it to protect against infection. This study was conducted on about 5,000 young women and girls in South Africa and Uganda. HIV. We go on a short break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. We apologize for that breaking transmission. HIV is a virus that attacks the body's immune system. AIDS occurs at the most advanced stage of infection. The shots made by U.S. drug makers Gilead are notably approved in the U.S. and Europe, but only as a treatment for HIV. Away from that, Kenyan President William Ruto on Wednesday named 4 ministers from the main opposition party in a bid to form a broad-based government. Hassan Joho was nominated as Cabinet Secretary for Mining, Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs. Wycliffe Oparanya was designated as Cabinet Secretary for Cooperatives. John Mbadi at the National Treasury Ministry and Opio Wandai at Energy. 4 politicians were part of a batch of 10 nominees. They are close allies of the Orange Democratic Movement leader. This comes despite a warning by the party's leader Raila Odinga in his first batch of appointment, last week. Kenya's president retained 6 former cabinet ministers. Protesters on social media accused the opposition of treason, some alleging a secret deal was brokered. The nominees still need to get the green light by Parliament. Now we move to other parts of the world. After this break, please stay with us. Welcome back. Now, news from other parts of the world. Thousands of people, including Jewish Americans, demonstrated in Washington on Wednesday as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the joint session of the U.S. Congress. They had descended on Capitol Hill, the seat of the U.S. government, chanting "Free, Free Palestine" as some tried to block street ahead of Netanyahu's speech.
People are angry. I think people are sorrowful. I think people are rageful that the United States government has the gall, after months and months of genocide, not to hold Benjamin Netanyahu accountable, but to continue to roll out the red carpet for him.
I think it's important to show like a visual representation that the American citizens don't support the policies of our upper class. They don't support the policies of our elected officials. We are in a rogue kind of administration that are disconnected from the people. So I think it's important to come out and show the world that the American people, our policies are not popular with the American.
Police wearing gas masks blocked the crowd which was calling for an end to the war that has killed more than 39,000 Palestinians from getting closer to the capital. Away from that, Georgia State Security Service said on Wednesday it was investigating a plot to assassinate former Prime Minister Bidzina Ivanishvili and her chairman of the governing party. The State Security Service said on social media that it was looking into what it said were criminal activities intended to vehemently overthrow the government and create unrest. It said these include a plan to murder Ivanishvili, the country's richest man who founded the governing Georgian Dream Party and was prime minister from October 2012 to November 2013. Up next is business. Please stay with us. Welcome back now to business news. As national protest looms over hunger and hardship across the country, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, disclosed federal government's moves to boost an agricultural mechanization program christened Greener Hope National Agricultural Productivity and Large-Scale Mechanization Support Program with $1 billion facility from private sector financing. Meanwhile, the minister explained that the project facility will be repaid over a period of 10 years by the participating states and the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) through their receipt of incomes and earnings from the operation of the plant farm estates and mechanization services to large and medium farms in their geopolitical zones. The participating states will pay the federal government, which will repay the private financiers. He also said for the state government and the FCTA, it is targeted for them to invest in the agricultural mechanization service centers and large-scale food production hubs, which is farm estates, in designated, farming clusters nationwide, which 150,000 hectares at 25,000 hectares per each of the 6 geopolitical zones, with 10,000 hectares for anchor states and minimum of 2,000 hectares for other participating states is needed. Away from that, we also have that Britain said it had launched a new technology security initiative with India, aimed at boosting economic growth, fostering collaboration on telecom security, and unlocking investment in emerging technologies. The British government said the agreement would see the two countries work more closely together on critical technologies including semiconductors, quantum, and AI. This will mean real action together on the challenges of the future, from AI to critical minerals. Together, can unlock mutual growth, boost innovation, jobs and investment, British Foreign Secretary David Lammy said in a statement released by his office during a visit to India. Also have you know that a panel at the Japanese Labor Ministry has decided to raise the national average minimum wage by about 5% to 154 yen, that is $6.85 per hour this fiscal year, the biggest ever jump. Achievement of sustainable inflation and strong wage growth are seen as prerequisites for the Bank of Japan to raise interest rates from current near-zero levels. Raising the legally binding minimum wage would boost households' purchasing power but squeeze profits at small firms that struggle to make ends meet. Following the decision, labor and business representatives would meet in August to set pay hikes, taking the situation in each of prefecture into account. The new minimum pay would be implemented by each prefecture from October. The government has set a new target of bringing minimum wages to 105 yen by the mid-2030s. In response to rising living costs and labor in response to rising living costs and labor shortages, major Japanese companies have offered pay rises of 5.1% this year, the biggest in more than 3 decades. Still to come is sport. Please stay with us.
This is Hillstv. Quality broadcasting is what we'll bring to you. Now we be this
Hillstv.
Welcome back now to Sport News. European governing body UEFA has sanctioned 7 of the 24 competing countries at Euro 2024 because of racist or discriminatory behavior by their fans. The Serbians, Croatian, Romanian, Slovenian, Australian, Hungarian and Albanian Football Association have all been sanctioned. The punishment range from a 50,000 euros, that is 41,970 euro fine, and a ban from selling tickets to its next UEFA away match, a Nation League game in Portugal on 5th September for Croatia, to a 20,000 euro, that is 16,790 euro fine, and a ban on selling tickets to its next UEFA away match, suspended for 2 years for Australia. A total 17 games were identified as being affected, including 3 involving Slovenian, Romanian, Croatian and Serbian. The move comes a day after UEFA charged Spain players Rodri and Alvaro Morata for violating basic rules of conduct in the aftermath of their final victory over England when they sang offensive songs about Gibraltar, whose FA lodged a formal complaint. Away from that, defender Ricardo Calafiori is set to have his medical with Arsenal as his move from Bologna edges closer. The Gunners intend for the Italy International 22 to join the squad for their pre-season tour of the United States. Arsenal are in Los Angeles for Wednesday's match against Burnett and face Manchester United on Saturday. They then head to Philadelphia to play Liverpool on 31st July. Calafori scored 2 goals and registered 5 assists in 30 Serie A appearances last season, helping Bologna claim a 5th-placed finish in the sport in that season Champions League. He started in all 3 of Italy's group stage games at Euro 2024 before they fell into Switzerland in the last 16. A graduate from Roma's Academy, Calafori joined Swiss side Basel in 2022 before a €3.3 million move to Bologna the following season. Away from that, world number 1 Jannik Sinner has withdrawn from the Paris Olympics with tonsillitis. The Italian struggled with illness during his Wimbledon quarterfinal loss to Daniil Medvedev earlier in July. Sinner was one of their favorites for the gold medal on the Paris clay, reaching the French Open semi-finals after winning his first major title at the Australian Open in January. The tennis tournament takes place from 27 July to 4th August. Away from that, tennis player Coco Gauff has been selected as the female flag bearer for Team USA at Friday's Olympic Games opening ceremony in Paris. The 20-year-old Grand Slam winner joins basketball superstar LeBron James, who was selected as the male flag bearer on Monday. Gauff, who won the 2023 US Open, is competing at her first Olympic Games. At the start of the year, Gauff reached the semi-finals of the Australian Open and she made the 4th round of Wimbledon this month. Serena Williams was the last American to win Olympic gold in the women's singles at London 2012. Gauff was picked alongside Jessica Pegula as part of Team USA's women's tennis team. Friday night ceremony will be held on the River Seine and will be first opening ceremony in summer Olympic history to be held outside the main stadium. And that's your sport news and world news. We move to the rest of the news after this break. Stay with us.
Hi, welcome to Foodies on Hillstv. I'm Esther Oyeyipo. Today we'll be
Welcome back now. The rest of the news. The United States imposed sanctions on a China-based network for helping North Korea develop its ballistic missile and space programs, the U.S. Treasury Department said. The 6 individuals and 5 companies in the Kwapil network were involved in procuring items to support the programs in violation of multiple United Nations Security Council resolutions. North Korea relies on foreign-sourced material and components for its weapons of mass destruction programs using networks of procurement agents overseas, Treasury added. Foreign companies who buy items needed for its weapons program repackage them for shipment to North Korea, hiding the end use from manufacturers. Kwapil is a Chinese national and key facilitators in the network, the Treasury revealed. And that's what news. But before we go, here are the headlines again. We told you that Tinubu calls for collaborative efforts to tackle insecurity. We also brought to you that thousands demonstrate in Washington against Netanyahu visit. We brought to you that U.S. imposes sanction on China-based network for helping North Korea. And on sport, we told you that UFA sanctioned 7 nations for racist chants. Remember to visit us on Facebook at Hillstv Abuja. Instagram at Hillstv Abuja, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Hillstv. I am Wisdom Onizi. Thanks for watching.